The rebound has just killed them.
Second half underway. Cox with a perfect palm down, and Selwood with the ideal clearance to half forward. Off some hands. Shepherd heads hard towards the Sharon. Tried to keep it alive.
Well, Cozzy there just ball watching, allowing Rosa just to take the ball in his hand, not pushing up.
Dean Cox gets a free.
Sure, kick his fifth.
Against Wilkes again.
That means he'll slop this one, and it'll be a career best. From directly out to stop the St Kilda run. He's a superstar, Dean Cox.
And the difficult thing to swallow if you're a Saints supporter and player is what they've just done is the easy bit. The hard bit is to get in front and then go on and win, because the West Coast, they have the cue on the rack. They'll come again. They'll get the serve at three-quarter time and they'll apply it themselves for the next 5 or so, or the next 4 minutes.
Got hard with some pushing and shoving. Didn't want to do the acting bit. He's already been warned for that. Nat Nui is down, but he's about to get up. And speaking of getting up, the Saints have got up off the canvas in this one.
There's a bit argy-bargy about this. They're going at each other.
Yeah,
they've raised the stakes. They've raised the stakes, as you mentioned. Poorly assessed there by the St Kilda defenders.
So Hill from 50. This is against the run. He puts some shoe on it. And it's marked on the line by Schofield, of all people.
Well, that was shocking defence by St Kilda.
He's kicked 5 goals in his 64 games.
Well, this one isn't really a difficult shot, just a nice little boomerang. Well played.
Oh, casual as you like.
The Waters has only had the 2 disposals and Hearn 4.
Massive 1 minute and 50 coming up to three-quarter time here. Kern threw it out. Selwood to Shuey. Puts it up high. Darling in the spot. Good hands.
That's a good catch, that.
Crowd finding voice again. They wanted him to go long. He heads back to Butler. It's theirs for the taking, West Coast. It's also theirs to look.
That might have been the mindset, like you said.
Del Santo. Kerr couldn't mark it. Goes to ground. Brennan tried to flick a handball up. Bang.
Good hit.
Took on Goddard and took him down. 15 minutes left. Port Adelaide did it last night. Can the Saints do it tonight? Hearn dives. Can't mark it. And Del Santo, who broke them apart last time these two teams met. He got the 3 Brownlow votes and he won it off his own boot.
Great chase.
Gets the kick away, but it's a poor one.
Well done, Hearn.
Scott Selwood. And 50. Oh, and he throws one at Kaczynski.
Gee, Cozzy.
Now he's got Sard on the overlap. Sard can get and go if it bounces.
He'll take him on.
He does. Runs around Glass. Has a bounce. Gone! He wanted to get back onto the right and it was all wrong. Shepherd from half back. West Coast on the quick rebound. Game's lifted again. Rosa back to Shepherd. Almost gone. Scott Selwood floats it back. Rosa again. He's got Marston out wide as the runner. Can he hit a chest? Keeps it low. Gilbert gets back over the back of the pack. Well, it's worked perfectly for McGinnity. And the crowd finds voice yet again.
Well, and he tried to take it on Sard. You can't have a crack at him for that because he's faster than Glass, but Glass's experience, and he nailed him. And that was a very big turnover, and quite often, as it is in AFL footy, you make a mistake and the opposition punish you with a goal.
Jones, fumble, all the way back to Wilkes. Nat Nui's going to go, and got it.
Just got to once again find that turnover.
Hearn can get and go if he wants to.
This is Quentin Lynch's big moment.
Puts it in front of Lynch. He runs onto it, and he's got it.
Right now, they've got to somehow produce a succession of goals.
Yep, 4 goals in 7 minutes. That's the equation. Hayes a flicker. Looked a little throwish. Saints a chance again. Sard, Rebold. It opens up to Gilbert. Little fumble at the inopportune time. Mops up his own mess. Pops it inside 50. Waters. Now they're 3 kicks from the lead and full of run. hit a mark inside 50. Milne stays down. McKenzie, solid hands. With each passing second, they're closer to top spot on the AFL ladder. Nat Nui again couldn't get a run at it. Stevens, the sub, who's come on and given them something. The flick down by Nat Nui. Shuey for the finishing blow. That's off the scale. That is unbelievable, but a perfect way to finish it off.
Let's just have a look. He's absolutely, no one's on him. There was a nice fumble there which just dropped into his hands. Umpire didn't like it. He went over, but it was the finish that was the A-grade aspect of that piece of play.
Through the two.
Still got some issues with that webbing in his hand. May have re-split slightly.
Blake off the side. Gaff trouble the required 15. But the West Coast are going to be finals bound on this as Gaff gets a 50-metre penalty. To get a home final or two, they're going to be extremely tough to beat come September, regardless of who's in the firing line in the final 8. Gaff plays onto advantage. Hammers it to Nat Nui. He pushed out. Nat Nui free. That's the only way to beat him. And by doing that, you don't beat him.
The part-timers have come up against 2 A-graders. And the height factor intimidates.
In fact, he's peerless, really, Nick Nat Nui, in this competition when he's on. Next week, 250th game for Lenny Hayes against the Swans.
Good intercept.
At Etihad. Good intercept, and that's his son for the Saints next week. And it's the Derby here next week for the West Coast against Fremantle. It'll be another full house.
Jacob Brennan, he's only a young kid. He's got his old man's been a legend at the club, but he's one you'd like to play footy with, I reckon. He gives everything.
Certainly, if he's got his half his father's traits, he's going to play a long career, but he's going to be a great clubman.
30 points, the final margin, and the West Coast Eagles still the team to beat in 2012. At the end of 8 rounds of football, the West Coast Eagles are the top dog. 18-13, 121 to 13-13, 91. A hot St Kilda, coming off a brilliant victory last week, came to town. And the first half here were comprehensively outplayed. If you joined us late, the West Coast Eagles opened up a 49-point half-time lead. St Kilda got within 3 kicks, but the West Coast Eagles too good in the end, running out victors by 30 points. Glenn Jakovic.
Thanks very much, Dwayne. I got Bo Waters, 26 possessions, couple of goals. It was a tough day at the office in the end.
Yeah, it was. The St Kilda's intensity in that third quarter caught us off guard. And not good enough from our boys. We pride ourselves on playing 4 quarters, and we didn't achieve that today.
Bo, tell us, 49 points up at half-time. Saints got right back into it. What was the message at three-quarter time by John?
Oh, pull your finger out. Yeah, pull your finger out. It wasn't good enough. The ball was coming in hard and fast. They adopted a bit of a new game plan. We just didn't adjust. So really not good enough. We'll address it and make sure we play 4 quarters next week. Now, stats will tell us it's the 4th time you've kicked 2 goals in a game as a defender. But that second one today, was that 75, 80 metres? Oh, yeah. It's like when you go fishing, mate. It'll get bigger and bigger the older I get. Blighty's was 130, wasn't it? That big talk back in the day. Mate, the Eagles now 7-1 in a good position, but need to continue this momentum. Flat spot last week in the 3rd quarter, another flat spot in the 3rd quarter this week. Something you need to reassess. Yeah, no doubt. The scoreboard sort of showed that they got on top of us, and we don't intend to play flat spots in games or bad quarters, but premiership sides don't do that, so we'll address it. Good boy. Enjoy the win, mate. Good on you guys. Thank you.
Bo Waters downstairs with Glenn Jakovic. Not a happy return to home for Scott Waters, but for John Worsfold, who equalled Mick Malthouse today with the most games ever coached for the West Coast Eagles, it was a victory by 30. Don't go away. We'll be back to wrap it up straight after this.